Ahead on WUFT's First at 5, a neighborhood rattled, all because of a hoax. How residents are recovering after a suspicious device sent bomb squads to one Alachua County community.
And rising tensions. The battle for ownership of Gainesville Regional Utilities is coming to a head, with voters heading back to the polls to cast another ballot.
It may be the first day of fall, but we're still feeling that summer heat. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, from the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
A suspicious device shut down part of High Springs neighborhood. For nearly 8 hours, residents were told to stay away from the area as bomb squads investigated a threat. This is WUFT's First at 5. I'm Nicole Beltran.
And I'm Madison Ginsburg. The device found near Post Springs Road was determined to be a hoax, but neighbors feared for their safety. WUFT's Kira Carl joins us live from the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. Kira, you met a person who works near the area where the device was found.
The man told me he's happy this is over, but of course for him, when those moments were happening, they were intense.
Construction worker Vincent Gray, who works close to the area of where officials say sticks of dynamite were found in High Springs.
We work over here planting this football field, so you know it's going to scare everybody. I don't live over here, but it's scary.
Authorities report at around 12:30 p.m. Sunday, the Alachua County Sheriff's Office received a call from a property owner who noticed a suspicious device on his land. Public Information Officer Chris Sims is thankful this community member spoke up.
If you see something, say something, and that's exactly what this person did.
The ACSO bomb squad urged people to stay out of the area and close down Post Springs Road in both directions.
What the community's already doing, to me, is wonderful. You know, they're offering grace, and they're offering patience and things that sometimes, you know, as you can see with this, I think it took, 4 or 5 hours to resolve this situation.
Sims thanks the community for its patience. After the device was destroyed, it was determined it was a hoax.
The road is back open, and authorities say there's no more cause for concern. Live from the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, Kira Carl, WUFT News.
Well, today is the first day of fall, but you wouldn't know it if you stepped outside. The summer temperatures are here to stay for the rest of our week. UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini is live in the weather studio tracking the heat. Jadyn, as much as I want to, I don't think it's time for me to pull out my cardigans anytime soon.
That's right, you're not going to want to grab your cardigan just yet because our temperatures are hot and they're going to be hot for a little bit longer before we get those cooler fall temperatures. Right now across North Florida, we're in the 90s, 92 in Gainesville and Ocala, in the 80s towards the coast, 84 in Jacksonville and 85 in St. Augustine, and unfortunately our highs are going to pretty much hit 90 all week. Our lows though, pretty comfortable, a little bit cooler in the lower 70s, upper 60s, and as these lows go below our dew point, that's when we'll see the chance for some fog to form. So be aware tomorrow morning on your commute to work, there may be some fog out there, so be careful on the roads. We also may see some scattered storms throughout the week in combination with our heating daytime temperatures, and we're getting these onshore sea breezes, and that's going to cause us to see some scattered storms throughout the area this week. Our big weather system we're tracking is Hurricane Gabrielle. It's very organized now, and we'll continue tracking it after when we come back, and these two new developments following it. Coming up, we're talking about our morning fog tomorrow, hot temperatures as we head into fall, scattered showers this week, and how the Atlantic is waking up.
Right now, Gainesville police are asking for your help to find a missing teen. 15-year-old Liliana Blanco was last seen around 2900 block of Southwest 42nd Street in Gainesville. If you have any information, call GPD. A Marion County man is facing charges of exploiting children online. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says 20-year-old Aiden Lucas Page was having sexually explicit conversations with minors on Discord. Page is facing charges for possessing child sexual abuse material, sending harmful materials to minors, and misusing two-way communication.
The Marion County Department of Health is issuing a rabies alert for neighbors in Denellen. A fox with rabies caught off 217th Court Road. Neighbors and visitors should be aware there could be rabies among wild animals in the area. To prevent exposure, the DOH recommends you vaccinate your pets and livestock. Keep your pets on a leash while you are outside and avoid contact with wild or stray animals. If you are bitten or scratched by a wild animal, get medical help and report it to your county's Department of Health.
The fate of who is in control of Gainesville Regional Utilities remains unclear as another legal battle continues. It's over a vote set to take place later this year. WUFT has reported on this back and forth between city leaders and the GRU Authority Board for the last several years. I spoke with representatives on both sides about the issue and why their stance should prevail. In less than 2 months, Gainesville voters will decide who should run their utility. Again. Whether that's elected city commissioners or the GRU Authority, the choices will appear on a special election ballot November 4th. For Bobby Murmer, the decision boils down to accountability.
We want to bring democracy back to our utility. We were able to hold the city commission to account by voting them in and voting them out. If we don't like what they did with GRU, we could kick them out of office. And we did.
For the last 2 years, under House Bill 1645, a governor-appointed board has overseen Gainesville's utilities, the only city in the state to see this structure.
There's no other board like this, and they're unaccountable. We can't vote for them.
Back in 2024, the city pushed a referendum asking voters whether they want GRU back under city commission. The vote passed with 70%, but a judge later ruled the ballot's language was misleading. A revised referendum now sits for November. However, a lawsuit the authority filed is now in play, hoping to stop the referendum from happening.
The City Commission put GRU in a position that it had to be taken over by the state in terms of governance.
GRU CEO Ed Bilarski believes a pattern of poor financial management from the City Commission led the utility company to this point.
If you're going to talk the talk, you walk the walk. And the history of the City Commission and the authority is the City Commission talk the talk, but they never walk the walk. The authority is doing both.
Now voters wait patiently until any legal decisions are made again.
Plan is to get out there, knock on doors, make phone calls, advertise on social media and on Google to make sure that people know there is a special election and that they need to vote.
There is a chance voters will make that same decision they did in 2024, and if that November election takes place before a decision is reached on the lawsuit, there is a chance those votes could be thrown out for a second time.
GRU entered a secret deal with Duke Energy last week, laying the groundwork for privatizing Gainesville's energy generation. The deal authorizes large-scale power purchases from Duke. Local activist group Gainesville Residents United says the move could trigger mass layoffs at GRU facilities, increase rent payers' costs, and hand control of Gainesville's energy to outside corporations. As this story unfolds, you can count on us to bring you new details on WUFT.org.
Coming up on WFT's First at 5, a small school is making a big impact.
Second graders at Millhopper Montessori School donated thousands of meals to Bread of the Mighty Food Bank. We'll tell you just how many bellies they filled. Up next.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Students at a Gainesville school turned Spirit Week into a fundraiser for community members in need.
WFT's Isabella Heipel shows us how their friendly competition is making a difference.
For Millhopper Montessori students, Spirit Week means more than just dress-up days and themed events. They say it's a chance to give back to the community.
Each year, Montessori school students bring in canned and dry goods for their annual food drive. And after this year's drive, some 17,000 families will be fed off their donations. That's according to lead teacher Anita Bender. She says she loves seeing the kids get involved.
They were really excited about it because, they got behind it because they just took money from their own piggy banks.
Students compete for the Golden Can Award, a trophy given to the class that brings in the most donations. For students, it's about more than winning a trophy. Participating gives them a chance to make a difference.
The second graders then are allowed to go out and they get to load up the truck, which is kind of a rite of passage for our second graders.
Food insecurity is becoming a growing issue in North Central Florida, especially with the rising cost of groceries. Bread of the Mighty Food Bank works to combat the issue.
As of 2023, 1 in 7 of our neighbors don't know where the next meal is going to come from. So there's upwards of over 55,000 people in our community who are hungry and dealing with hunger.
Assistant teacher Katie Ellison says the friendly competition motivated students to reach their donation goal.
It shows the students that at a young age they can make a difference, and they're able to encourage their parents to bring in stuff as well as bring in their own money and clean out their kitchen, their pantry, and bring in food that they might not eat but can go to somebody who will eat it.
This annual tradition has helped stack Bread of the Mighty's shelves for more than 20 years. Students and staff hope to continue the tradition for years to come. Live in the studio, Isabel Heipel, WUFT News.
Coming up, we're going to be taking a look at the tropics and how the Atlantic is waking up before hurricane season.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Well, Jadyn, I know that I'm really looking forward to feeling those temperatures cool down.
Absolutely. I mean, it's already feeling a little cooler in the morning. It's just during the day that it gets so unbearably hot.
And that's right. Our lows are feeling pretty comfortable in the 60s to 70s range. But once we heat up to that 90 degree in the afternoon, that's when it really starts feeling hot out there. And unfortunately, that's what we're going to see stick around for the next week. Those highs in the 90s we can see on campus right now. We're at 92 degrees, humidity at 49%, dew point at 70 degrees. Sky's looking pretty beautiful. Just a couple of scattered clouds out there. But these 90-degree temperatures are staying pretty hot this week. 92 degrees in Gainesville and Ocala, 84 in Jacksonville, and 82 in St. Augustine. Those highs remaining in the 90s even though we did enter fall today. We can see our heat index numbers: 100 in Gainesville, 102 in Ocala, 101 in the Villages. So it's feeling pretty hot outside even though it is fall. Our lows, though, they're a little bit cooler. We get a little bit of a break in the morning with those cooler temperatures: 71 in Gainesville, 72 in Ocala, 73 in Jacksonville. And as these lows go below our dew point numbers, that's when we see the possibility for some patchy fog. And we will see this tomorrow morning. There may be some fog around North Florida, so be advised on your morning commute to work. You may see some fog out there. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere right now. That's why we've been seeing these scattered showers across the Florida Peninsula last week. That's going to continue on into this week. North Florida may get some scattered showers, increased rain chance on Friday. Let's check it out here. Here it is Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central Florida could see some widespread showers and thunderstorms. Again, the rest of the week, we're really just going to see some pop-up showers here and there across North Florida. Friday, that rain chance increases to 60%. We could see Central Florida again on Friday getting the majority of it, but North Florida could see some scattered showers as well. Our big weather system we're talking about is Hurricane Gabrielle. If you remember last week, it was pretty disorganized as a storm and a depression, but now it's a Category 4 hurricane. So this thing has really strengthened. You can see that defined eye wall and that circular wind pattern. It's a Category 4 storm, but luckily it's staying over the water, not coming near land, and keeping everyone safe. Just the fish are going to get this storm. Looking at the cone for Hurricane Gabrielle, here it is, a Category 4. It's not expected to become a Category 5. It's going to stay a Category 4 until tomorrow, where it starts to weaken into a 3, 2, 1, and then die off as it makes another northward turn. But right behind it, we have two more areas of development. We have this red blob at an 80% chance of development and this orange one at a 50% chance. Both of them are expected to stay offshore of the United States. They both look pretty disorganized right now, but we will continue tracking them for you. If they do develop, the next two names on our hurricane list are Humberto and Imelda. So we will continue tracking it as they possibly develop. For the next 7 days, temps highs staying in the 90s, lows in the 70s. Expect that fog tomorrow morning. That increased rain chance on Friday, up to 60% chance of rain. And skies begin to clear a little bit as we head into the weekend, staying hot.
We start with some breaking news, and it's not good news for Gators football. According to reports this afternoon, quarterback DJ Lagway is back in a walking boot. Swamp 24/7 is reporting that Lagway is in the boot to treat an undisclosed injury. This is the second time in 2 months that the Gators QB has been hobbled by a leg injury. He was limited for most of training camp with a calf injury. In 4 games this season, the sophomore has struggled and has thrown 5 touchdowns alongside 6 interceptions. The reporting Monday states that there is confidence Lagway will be ready for the October 4th game versus Texas. It was announced Monday that the game will be a 3:30 start in the Swamp.
More than 3 decades after the University Athletic Association stripped Gators guard Vernon Maxwell's stats, he is now back as the #1 scorer in Gators basketball history. In the late 80s, failed drug tests cost him his records and placed the team on probation. But Friday night, WUFT Sports' Lauren McGill attended the men's basketball 70th reunion, where it was announced the former standout is back on top.
Here at the Gator basketball reunion, where there's 7 decades worth of Gator basketball alumni, it was a special night. But it was even more special for one player in particular. Former and current players gather as Vernon's stats were reinstated by the UAA.
To now know that he's getting recognized the way he should have been recognized is really neat. We just found out in the last couple of weeks that it actually transpired that he was going to not only have the record book restored, but be here for tonight's event. So really neat for him, his mother, the guys who played with him and know his story. So.
There was even a standing ovation for Vernon and his success during the commencement portion of the reunion.
And he's amazing what he's accomplished. And for him personally to be able to come back now and know that this university embraces him.
National championship head coach Todd Golden said a few words at the reunion while Vernon was just full of gratitude.
I mean, like I said, to my higher power, it's a blessing because I never thought it was going to happen. But, I mean, it's a blessing for me, and just like I said, for my mom. It's a lot of people that had hands on, like, making this happen for me. But it's a lot, but I'm just so appreciative, and I'm so, like, a blessed guy. A lot of blessings been coming my way lately, so.
Vernon is the #1 leading scorer in UF history.
History is history, and you can't erase that. So, and that's basically what it is.
From the Alachua County Sports and Recreation Center, WFT Sports, I'm Lauren McGill.
From one Gator great to some others, the reigning national championships spoke today during their media availability. WUFT Sports was at the press conference to see how they plan to run it back. Plus, College Game Day's iconic orange bus joined the Gators down in Miami over the weekend. I got a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to make this week truly happen.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back to sports. I'm Macy Meis. The reigning NCAA men's basketball national champions are back on the court this week as fall camp gets underway. Head coach Todd Golden and a number of players spoke to the media on the first day of practice. WUFT Sports' Jordan Castagliola joins us live from the UF Women's Club where the presser took place. Jordan, Coach Golden touched on just how far this team can go when it comes to the NCAA tournament.
That's exactly right, Macy. Today was the first day of fall practices for Gators basketball, and the vibes were great. Head coach Todd Golden said he thinks this team can make another deep run into March, but it's hard to top or even match what the Gators did last season. Here's what Golden said about expectations for this season.
But at the same time, we got some, transfers and some young guys that we're trying to get in there, and that's not the same expectation for them. They weren't part of the team, right? So it's on a macro level, obviously our goal is to do it again, but with this team specifically, we're not talking a lot about repeating and doing those things, but we are talking about doing everything we can to play people in March.
Gators basketball players Alex Condon and Thomas Houck also spoke today, and they said the same thing. They are not thinking about repeating. So as fall practices continue this week, the Gators are focused on improving and staying hot through the offseason. Live from the University Women's Club, I'm Jordan Castagliola, WUFT Sports.
This weekend, Gators football was not the only group to make a trip down south. One of ESPN's most exhilarating productions brought its crew to cover a Sunshine State showdown. On Saturday, WRUF.com reporter David Lopez joined me for an inside look at their flagship college football show, College Game Day.
Fans of two of Florida's premier college football programs have packed out a crowd here early Saturday morning ahead of a marquee matchup tonight.
But right now, we're actually 45 minutes away from the site where that game will be played. In Coral Gables, ESPN is hosting one of its iconic productions, College Game Day.
ESPN's premier college football show since 1993 starts small from the back of a few trucks, but ends on a scale as large as filling 26,000 fans into a single set. The process started Thursday when ESPN arrived at the University of Miami, and within 24 hours, the game day set was up and running.
The ACC Huddle pregame show joined game day in the first ever collaboration between the two shows. From the charity field goal kick stage to the main platform, the scene was set for an action-packed Saturday. The weather wasn't the only thing bringing the heat in Coral Gables. From the time the set opened up at 6:30 a.m. until the end of the show at noon, fans brought the fire. College game day set the stage for an exciting day of college football.
When it comes to setting up one of the biggest and most iconic sets in all of sports, 2 days is all it takes to go from nothing to something.
And now crowds will travel to Hard Rock Stadium, where we'll see if the Florida Gators can spot the ball in the eye of the Hurricanes. Reporting from the University of Miami, I'm Macy Meis.
And I'm David Lopez with WRUF.com
and WUFT Sports.
Following Florida's loss to Miami on Saturday, our partners at WRUF.com unveiled their latest poll question. As a Florida Gators football fan, how dead are you inside? 73% of voters say totally dead, 20% of voters say mostly dead, and 7% say they're in denial. The digital reporting team polls their audience each week. You can make your voice heard on North Central Florida athletics, including Gators programs, on WRUF.com. And before we go, Gator soccer finished Sunday's game in a 0 draw against number 15 South Carolina. Still on the track for an SECW, Florida will hit the road on Friday to take on number 21 Georgia. That's all for sports. Stay tuned for one final check with the weather after the break.
We're staying hot out there as we head into fall and expect some scattered showers throughout the week.
Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.
Have a great night.